Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's go over this problem by problem. You should have your pink one out. I would fill this chart out with 3, 4, 5, and 6 because the sum of the interior angles of every single heptagon, we're starting with 3. The pink one, well, we don't have this one done right. Get it out. Let me see it. Good. Okay, girls. 3, and you can work on 4 today. We'll hopefully get to some questions on it. But if I keep getting interrupted, it's not going to happen. Hey, you guys. Sydney. Okay, TJ, what's the formula for S sub I? Okay. Now, when you do this, this is always the case. So I would figure out what a hexagon is as well, and a pentagon and a quadrilateral, because you're using it in all the problems. Why reinvent the wheel every time? Just put it in your chart. Sydney, don't do that. So what am I going to do here? This is going to be 7 minus 2 times 180. What does that give us? That gives us. Well, you have your pink sheet. Look at it. 900. We should have it written down right there. It's 900. Okay? So does everybody know how to complete this table here? What is a hexagon? It's going to be 6 minus 2 times 180. It's 720. What's a pentagon? Because we had to use it in the homework. No. Quadrilateral is 360. 540. Well, why read? Once I know it, right? Now, Cole, the next question asks us to find if we have an equiangular polygon, what's the measure of each individual angle? So let's start with 7 because I've already seen it's not correct. 7 into 900, you can go to decimals or you can go to fractions. So I want to divide my heptagon into the 900 degrees into 7 angles that are congruent. So I'm going to divide 7 into 900. Old-fashioned division. How many times does 7 go into 20? 2. So it's 14. 6. How many times does 7 go into 60? Almost 9. 8. So it's 56. How much is left over? 6, 4. So this is, if you don't want to go to decimals, if you want to do fractions, it's 128 and 4/7. Because you need it on a problem later on. I don't know if it's on this worksheet or the other one. So you take 8 and you divide. So like 540 for the pentagon. If you divide 5 into 540, how much is that? 108. How about the hexagon? How big are those angles? Equiangular. 6 into 720 is 120. Okay, so those charts should be filled in. Okay, question, TJ? Now, how are you going to find the answer to question 3? Right. So I like it when you write the equation. If you look at mine, I write the equation. Okay, there it is. Zach, you could be taking some notes. This is homework. You all add up all the inside of these. Oh, it's not 180. It's what? It's 540. What? I've got a quadrilateral. It's 360. So why don't, that's why the table's there, I think. What about question 4? What are you going to do with that one? Now, solving that, that's an algebra issue. That's not a geometry issue. The geometry is what am I going to do with this? What is this? What do these marks mean? They're equal. So how big is this angle here, by the way? 110. 110. And how big is this angle? No. 112. Okay. Now I would say have a calculator out. Use a calculator. So you're going to add up 2 B's plus 110 plus 112 plus 110 plus 116, and how many sides is there? TJ?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So that's equal to what? 720. And that's kind of the work I'd like to see. I'd like to see that they know that that's 720.
So we don't need to actually solve that.
Yeah, you do. You have to find B. So you're going to need a calculator to add it up. So you add all these up, subtract from 720, and divide it in half. Well, it's faster if you do. Don't have to. I don't have to. But I got my calculator out because I did not want to deal with it. What about this one? Okay, TJ, how do we do number 5? Zach, how do you do in number 5? I don't know. I'll trust you. Ask me questions. Is that okay? How about number 5? I have 5 angles. It has to add up to 540. So how big is each angle? We already did it up here. It's 108. Yeah. So that's 108. Then how big is this exterior angle? 72. This is 72. And can you find F?
Yeah.
Subtract them from 180. I'm not doing it all. I'm just getting you ideas here. Is this page okay?
So that equals 36.
Is it?
What is the answer to the 108?
Yes, and you don't know if you did it right or wrong unless you check your answers. I check my answers too on the homework. I don't have answers for the lessons, so I have to check my answers with you guys because they didn't give me any answers. Now things get a little more complicated. Were you okay with this one? I'm asking. Jesus, did you get this one or do you need help? How about Matt? You got it? How about all you girls over there? Because this is 44. And this is 102. I see 108. Because what you have to do next is you have to look at this big triangle here. Zach. Yes. Okay, so you okay with that one now that I did that at least?
C is 108. We should select this.
Okay. What about 7? This one wasn't bad, was it? If that's 90, can we find this angle here? Can we find that angle there, Cole? This one right here. Because x plus 130 plus 108 has to add up to how many degrees? It's a whole circle, 360. I don't care. I just want to know, make sure you know how to do that. Okay, so you should be doing it if you haven't done it. Okay, any questions on 7? You got to ask. Is that okay? I don't have the answers in front of me, so I don't know. I don't know. I just get out my iPad and look at my homework.
It's 72.
Number 8, we need help on? Okay. This is what shape? Hexagon. So how big is J? It's 720 divided by 6. That'd be 120. And then K, these are parallel lines. You see the Z there? Those are alternate interior angles. How big is K? 38. And when at first you look at the picture, they are kind of scary looking, and you say, well, how am I going to do that? Well, you just have to try it, and you'll find out what to do. Okay, what's wrong with this picture? These lines are parallel, and these have to add to 180, or you could make this 102, and then you could make this 76. And if you, there's a lot of ways to do it, but if you add these up, you get 178. And you're not 180, so it's not right. But the next one is a little trickier. This one? Well, all we knew when I gave you this assignment was the sum of the interior angles. So do you want to work with the interior ones? Okay, these are all equal. Those are all equal. And so, whoops. So that's 49. This is 49. That's 49. So how big is this angle? Sydney's? That's 131. That's 131. That's 131. And if you add this up, 26. If you add all those up, what's the sum equal to? 540. Well, it should be 540, but it isn't. That's what's wrong with it. Is it equal to 540? 5 and 1 is 6, 7 and 6 is 13, and 1 is 14. It's 544, I think. But it ends up with a number not 0 at the end. It's supposed to be 540. Okay, Cole, question? 5 and 1 is 6, 7, 8, 8 and 6 is 14. And I didn't add the other numbers. I just know it didn't end in 0, so I'm done. Now 11, a lot of people, I haven't looked in this class, but a lot of people had to answer 18, which is right, but how do you get that? By the way, when I collect this worksheet, I'm going to grade it on being right. So this will go into the actual formative category. So we're doing every problem just about, at least setting it up. So how do we do this problem? Well, I want to find out how many sides this big one has. This has 3 sides, that has 9. I'm going to work with the angles because that's all I know about. So how big is this angle right in here? It's 60 because it's an equilateral triangle. Now that's a nonagon. So I have to take 9 minus 2 times 180. And that'll give me the sum of the interior angles, so I'm going to divide it by 9. Now, I don't know what 7 times 180 is, and I don't really care what it is. Can I go ahead and divide the 9 into the 180? Yeah. How many times? 20. So that's 140. So these two angles together give me 200, right? So what's this angle that's left? You take 360 and subtract 200, and you get what? 160. Now, I know the sum of the angles of that polygon 2 ways. It's either going to be 160 times the number of sides, that gives me 1 way, or it's this formula, n minus 2 times 180. And if you solve that, you should come up with 18. So we do it. 160n equals 180n minus 360, and I'll subtract 180n. And there's a second way to do it, which is much easier. Negative 20n equals negative 360. So what's n equal to? Divide by 20. 360 over 20 is 18. 18 sides. But you have to have all this work. There's no way you're going to do it in your head and just come up with 18. So if I don't see the work, it's wrong. So if you want me to leave that up. Now, did anybody use the exterior angle? Because you might have done it after I taught the lesson yesterday. What is the exterior angle on this thing? I'm gonna separate my picture a little bit. This is 160. What's this exterior angle? How big is that? It's 20, right? And because it's equal angular, the number of sides times the measure of the exterior angle equals 360. Or n equals 360 divided by e. So that's 360 divided by 20, which is, guess what? 18. Remember, I can do that over here. I said regular. It doesn't have to be regular. It has to be equiangular. So it's really not quite right. Regular is true, too, but equiangular. So if all the angles are equal, then you can use this. After I mean it. There are 8 lessons. This is only 4. I know. There's a lot of stuff in here too. And then next week we're going to learn about the properties of kites and parallelograms and stuff. And there won't be any interaction, so it should be a short video, so you may have to pause it to think about it. We'll see. I don't know. This one wasn't bad, except it was tedious. Did you guys get this one or not?
I have trouble with this one.
Well, it's long.
I checked it, so I kids.
See, this is 90. And now I can do this one and find n. Because that's a quadrilateral. Where is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 36 plus 116 plus 90 plus n equals 360. So now you can find n. When you find n, you can find m. Because at this vertex right here, that's going to have to add up to 360 degrees.
20.
And there's some more you can find. If this is 116, you're saying that's 118? I'd have to get out my iPad because I did it. What's this angle here? No, not 1. 74, isn't it? How do I check? When I make my guess, I take this and add it up. And do I get 180? Oh, see, I did it wrong. And I always get it wrong. So honestly, I do use a calculator. Then this is 116. And see how you're going to work your way around here now? This is 64. Is there a big one that I have to find? And these are parallel. So guess what B is? 64. Can I find D now? Take D equals 360 minus 116 minus 98 minus 64. See what I mean about you want to use a calculator because it gets too tedious. Even with the calculator, it's as accurate as tedious. Call. So once you find D, can you find this angle?
Yeah.
And then you know these are equal. Call them X or whatever you want to call them. That has to add up to 360. You just keep working away around the problem. It's, to me, tedious. It's not a lot of I have to see a figure here. That's not true on some of the other ones. Okay, is that enough to get you to finish that one? I hope. How about 13? How many sides does a polygon have if the sum of the angle measures is 2700? I don't know. I just write an equation. 2700 equals n minus 2 times 180. I want to see how you solved it. If you took 2700 and divided by 180, I would like to see that. And then you add 2 to it. It's fine. How many sides does an equal angular polygon have if each interior angle measures 156? I can't do this without work. I don't know how many sides. Call it n. So I have 156 degrees per angle, so that's times n. That's one way to get the sum of the interior angles. And the other way is n minus 2 times 180. Solve for n. I can't do that in my head. So if you have answer only, it's wrong. Is that clear? It means you open up the answer key and you just wrote it down. 16 we did in class, so unless you want me to do it again, I won't. But 15, you just got to get through all the words. And the words you don't even do anything until you come here. If you just get past the words. Each angle measures 160 degrees. I want to know how many sides it has. If it's a 16 gon, it's whatever, 3rd century. If it's an 18 gon, it's a 12th century. So there's an application there. So I have each interior angle is 160 degrees, so it's 160n, that's the degree symbol, equals n minus 2 times 180. And by the way, I could use the exterior angles now that I know about it. How big is the exterior angle? This is equal angular. If this is 160, what's the exterior? 20. So the number of sides is equal to 360 divided by the exterior angle. I know it's a simple formula, but I don't know if you're using it unless you write it down. So it's 360 over 20. No matter which way I do it, I'm going to get the same answer. N equals 18. Somehow I have to have some work there. So you may not get this into me today. There is a lot of work on things, and I saw a lot of papers with just an answer. That's not okay. Yeah, and it's the same. If you don't show your work, you're not going to get points, and it's true on your assessment. If you just come up with an answer and you don't show your work, it's just plain wrong, even if it's right. Because you could have guessed. I mean, this is a 50-50 chance. Right? It's either 16 or it's 18. So you just write one down. So you can get it right by just guessing. It's not a good thing to do. I hope I don't have to do this one again. Do I?
Yes.
Do I really?
Let's do it.
Can I make that? I can't make that bigger. Ooh. Oh, wait. I have an octagon here. Oh, I don't want to do that. All I really care about is the outside of this thing. I mean, I want to find my trapezoids go here. I want to find those angles. This angle right here. What's true about this segment? What does it do to this big angle? What does this line do to that big angle? What do you think? It bisects it because they're all the same. And I'm not proving it. I'm just looking at it and saying, oh, it bisects it. So I need to find this big angle and divide it in half. Well, it's an octagon. They add up to 8 minus 2 times 180. So, and it's on the front page, by the way. I just don't have it. So 6 times 180, and we're going to divide that by, how many angles are there? TJ, you asked for this one. Please pay attention. You're going to divide by 8. Isn't it 135? I think it's 135. So how big is this angle? Well, it's half of that. 135 divided by 2. These are parallel. Do you realize that this angle plus that angle equals 180? So you just take this answer, whatever it is, it's 180 minus 135 over 2. It's done in more detail on the when I did it in class. Okay. Oh, that's just the window. I have a window. Maybe I should take a picture of it and bring it in. I have a window that looks like that in my house. Yeah, it's just part of the window pane. Well, I know there's too much stuff there. You have to weed out what you want to know, and you just want to know these angles. I said just to find the angles of the trapezoids. And the trapezoids are just this part right here.
So all you do is like
If-
like an equation right here.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know, 60 something.
Why is it 6?
What's 7? This is a hexagon. Octagon, I mean. So 8 minus 2 gives you 6. Okay, are we okay with this assignment? If you need to keep it to work on it over the weekend, that's fine. Now we don't have a lot of time left. Where are you stuck? Oh, I got to give you a little hint on this next one. Okay, this is in your notes from yesterday.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. What's the sum of the, oh, wait a minute, number 2, what's the sum of the measures of angles of a decagon? That's easy, it's 360. The sum of the measures of all the angles in any polygon is 360. That's what we did yesterday. That's what this is. Okay, that's why this is up here on the board. What is the measure of an exterior angle of an equiangular pentagon? So, no, I want one of them. So let's draw a pentagon
That would be
right here. So you need to know what this angle is. Well, I've done this problem so many times, I know what that angle is.
what is it?
108. Because it's 5 minus 2 times 180. That gives you the sum, and you have to divide it by what? How many angles are there? 5. So that's 108. What's the exterior angle then? 180 minus 108. 72. Ask. If you don't understand something, ask. Okay. Yeah, this isn't that bad. I always work, if it's equiangular, I always work with the exterior angle. Or in this case, I'm still going to work with the exterior angles because these exterior angles, A plus 68 plus 84 plus 60. Oh, I need one more exterior angle. How big is that? Zach, how big is this angle here? This is a linear pair, isn't it? It's 40. Equals 360. Could you have gone with the interior angles and used that formula? Yes, you could have. This is easier. The sum of the exterior angles is always 360. That's right. All of them. What the regular ones and the equiangular ones give you is that the number of sides times the exterior angle is equal to 360 because all the exterior angles are congruent. They don't have to be congruent for them to add up. So again, I want to use the exterior angles on this one. They are kind of scary, but let's look at number 9. I want to give you a hint because I didn't see it. I got stuck on this one. This is the figure you have to get to angle H. It's a pentagon. You can find G, you can find all those other ones, but to get to H and B, and I think you need to do that to get the K. You have to have that yellow figure. It's a pentagon. Okay, guys? Do you see that? Colin? That's the big figure you have to have there. Here, what do we have to have here? Oh, we have parallel lines. So what's true about A and B? Zach, what's true about A and B? They're the same because they're alternate interior. So you're going to want to look at, to find A, you have to look at this triangle right here. Yeah, this is hard. It is hard to visualize that. But that's what you're developing. You're developing that visual recognition. It's hard. That's why you want to come in. But this morning I wasn't here till a little bit later because I had a meeting. Normally I don't have that, but sometimes I do. Yeah, if you're not understanding your homework, just come in. I don't want you to get frustrated because that's crazy. How about this? Do you know how big these are? Oh, this has got fractions in it because you know how many sides there are? What did you say? There are 7. And remember that was the 128 and 4/7 or something? Or was it 123? That's what that was? We found that in the table. Use that. Don't redo the problem. Yeah?
If something is lined up like that, or has like these things jutting out of it, is the full circle.
It's a full circle around.
That full circle equals 360.
That full circle is equal to 360, yes.
All right.
And these are equal. So you're going to take 360 minus 128 and 4/7. I think it's 128. I'm not sure. And if you have a TI-84 graphing calculator, it will do the fractions for you. Manual. Or you can do decimals. I'm sorry, what? No, we did that back here. Let's go back. Is that up here? We did that. I did the arithmetic right there. 128 and 4/7. I did the division.
128
and 4/7. But if you want to do decimals, I don't care. But I don't know if you know how to subtract the fractions. I don't know if I want to take the time to do it. Because then you're going to cut this. You're going to take 360 minus this angle, and then that answer you're going to divide in half. So you're probably happier with decimals, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. And how about this one? We know how big are all these little angles here. 108. How big is that? 120. Can you find G? Yeah. Can you find E?
Yeah.
This is 108. Yeah. That's why I really recommend you come in the morning. And I'm sorry I'm not going to be here next week, but I'll pick up the pieces when we come back after MEA next week. Egypt. Okay, so, and you know that's 120, so how big is F? That's really not hard. It looks scary, but it's not bad. How many sides does a regular polygon have if the exterior angle is 24? The number of sides is equal to 360 divided by the exterior angle. How many sides does a polygon have if the sum of the interior angles is 7380? I have no choice but to do this. That's why I have all those formulas on the board, so you can see them. There aren't very many, but you have to figure it out. That's the problem. If anybody has borrowed a compass, please return them. We don't have much time. Yes, you can just put them on top of my desk here on your way out. And you're all done?
Yeah, I was wondering if you would tell me about that right.